Competition 2022 special edition here in Dresden. It's the last competition day number 3. It's Skill Automobile Technology. Yesterday we showed you around a little bit with modules, 4 different modules, and today we want to have a look at the 5th module. It's module C. And here we have some problem solving regarding brakes and steering. And so let's have a look at the competitors first, and then we have a little chat with our skill competition manager. So let's have a look first. So here you can see the competitor from India. They had a break, so they just started with their competition time, going through all the papers and the task, what they have to do. And up there, let's have a walk over there. We have the competitor from Australia preparing the workstation. And so let's get back there and talk to Grant Patch. He's the skill competition manager of automobile technology, so he's the chief of everything regarding the skill. And he can explain a little bit more what the competitors actually have to do, what the tasks are. So Grant, we have to share a microphone. So okay. You're the skill competition manager of automobile technology. Tell us, what is module C, like the brakes, steering, what is it?
Module C is one of our main modules, and it's here, and what we do is we represent the service and repair and diagnostics in brakes and steering. This is probably the one where competitors do, I suppose, really well, because it really does reflect a lot of the service work and the work they do in the industry. Because if you imagine that in an automotive workshop, repairing brakes, changing brakes, fixing brakes, and doing steering and suspension work and wheel alignments is probably one of the things they do a lot of, besides for changing oil. But here we have set up with the brakes, it's a couple of faults, which is the rear brake, handbrake is not working correctly. They have to diagnose and repair that. They also have to measure the discs front and rear, because they've had warps machined into them and they're undersized, so they have to make a decision on whether to replace or not. And they have to change the brake fluid, bleed the brakes. Standard work they would normally do in a workshop. Behind me in the part 2 of module C is a vehicle with a faulty suspension component. Competitors have to change the component. In changing the component, they have to do a wheel alignment, so the vehicle drives straight and doesn't scrub. So both an hour and a half each, plenty of work to do in that time, which keeps them engaged. And yeah, I find this one quite exciting.
So it's the last competition day. Do you think, are the competitors still motivated?
Oh yeah, look, it's interesting after 3 days. First day, the competitors are really nervous and not knowing what to expect. By the time you get to day three, they understand how the judges or the experts work and what expects. They're now more familiar with each other, and they've got friends for life in a lot of the cases. But last day is, hey, it's the last day. At the end of this, the 12 or 18 months of training is over, and then we just wait for the exciting medal presentation tomorrow night. So yeah, they're definitely motivated.
It's 24 competitors from all over the world, all continents. Can you tell what training they had before coming to WorldSkills? Is there a difference? Can you actually see the vet systems at the countries, how they work?
Yeah, look, there is quite distinct differences in the competitors. We have 24 competitors from all over the world, as you said. Some go through quite an extensive training process, because some countries have been in WorldSkills for long, so they understand the process and start the training, quite early. Other countries relatively new, some of the countries in Africa and South America have difficulty accessing equipment and training facilities. So it does vary from time to time. You know, over the years, we've had competitors win from all different areas of the world. But we do see the vet systems, but also countries have some influence in relation to how much. We try and write the competition as so if someone's working in the automotive industry, they've got as good a chance as any.
Would you say skills can change lives?
Oh, definitely. You have to look at when competitors come through WorldSkills, and to get to this level, they're exposed to public speaking, they're exposed to travel, they're exposed to a whole lot of other things which realistically that they may not see if they don't get involved in a WorldSkills like this. So it does change lives, and being good at what you do means you'll always have work. For the top 5 or 6 out of this, any WorldSkills competition, especially the gold medal winners, in the next couple of weeks, their phone will ring and someone in the world will say, hey, I want you to work for me.
So it was really noisy right now. What was it? Can you can we go over there and you can explain what's going on here? We have the competitor from Namibia. He's working right there, and then we have the competitor from it is right. So what do we see here? What are they working on?
You can see here that they're working on the Mercedes. What the noise you heard is the lift of the lifting the vehicle off the ground. So they have to lift the vehicle off the ground to obviously get under it and do some repairs because there's faulty suspension components. And part of any wheel alignment is pre-alignment checks. So what we're looking for is loose bolts, anything bent, anything out of the ordinary. And their skills and knowledge will be able to look around and say, hey, that's not right, that's bent or damaged or whatever, and checking that everything's tight and from there. You can see, and part of the wheel, they have to lift the vehicle off the ground, and part of the procedure is to rotate the tyres. Because once they put the measuring equipment on, has to be put on, rotate the tyres to make sure that it's all aligned. It's quite a process. And if you swing round, you'll see on the big screen, because again, a wheel alignment is just using a 4-wheel wheel alignment machine, which is a measuring device, to tell the competitor what the steering angles are. So if the steering angles aren't right, they can then adjust certain components to bring the steering angles in. So that means the car will drive straight. If you let go of the steering wheel, it's not going to shoot to the left or right. And wheel alignments are quite common to do because all you need to do is hit a big pothole or a curb, slightly bends a component, so it needs to be realigned. So that's what they're doing. But we've been sneaky and we've put in some faulty components. So they have to try and get the vehicle into specifications. When they can't, they need to identify what's wrong.
Oh, that's
as you can
pretty
see.
nosy. Yeah. So what did he just do? Like lift it up and then put it back down?
The reason lifts it up, then he puts it back down onto a lock, safety locks. So they lift it up and then they lock it down to a mechanical lock, so it can't come down while he's under the vehicle. But a lot of the requirements is you have to get the vehicle, the suspension system, off the ground, to take the weight off the suspension system, which he's doing for some of the adjustments.
So for this competition, what was your favorite WorldSkills moment here in Dresden so far?
Oh, look, I've been around WorldSkills for a long time. I'm very passionate, and the favourite moment will be tonight when about 4:30, 5:30, all the experts and all the competitors come together, and we see the relief on their faces thinking, hey, this is done. I've done it. I've got through it. And that's from the experts as well, you know, setting it up and everything like it. It's a big event, takes a long time setting up. For this event, 3 days, it's all over, so we're just looking forward to seeing, hey, we've got through it, and it's run very smoothly. It's been a really great competition. But everybody will be relieved and sad that it's over. But that's what I look forward to the most, and say, hey, we've done it. Then tomorrow night, the expression on their faces when they get called up on the podium and the winners. You know, it's again, unfortunately, it's 24 competitors, which means someone has to come 24th. But again, to get to this level, represent your country and compete here shouldn't be taken for granted. It's just exceptional to get here.
So thank you, Grant, so much. This is competition day 3 in, I don't know, 1 or 2 hours. It's going to be over. WorldSkills competition 2022 special edition here in Dresden in skill automobile technology. Tomorrow is the closing ceremony, and we will live stream that, of course. So stay tuned and see you tomorrow at the award ceremony, and have a nice evening.